So let's just jump right in. The next time you hit submit on a job application, you should know that a person might not see your resume at all. Seriously, your very first interview could be with a machine.
And look, this isn't some far-off future prediction. It's happening right now. A 2022 survey found that a whopping 79% of employers are already using AI for hiring. This isn't just a small trend, it's a massive shift in how companies find people, and it's picking up speed every single day.
Now, to be fair, the idea of using tech in HR isn't new. We've had something called EHRM, or Electronic Human Resource Management, for a while now. That's basically just using computers for HR tasks. But what's different now, what's a real game changer, is that AI is supercharging the whole thing. We're going from simple data management to complex automated decision-making.
So you have to ask, why the huge shift? What's the big appeal? Well, it really boils down to one massive promise: a radical leap in efficiency.
From a business point of view, the logic is pretty clear, and it lines up with an ethical theory called utilitarianism. The whole idea here is to get the best possible outcome for the greatest number of people, or, in this case, for the organization. And from that perspective, AI in hiring looks like an absolute slam dunk.
I mean, think about it. The promise is that AI can do things way faster, way cheaper, and at a scale that's just impossible for humans. We're talking about screening thousands of resumes in minutes, reaching a global talent pool instantly, and getting rid of all those repetitive screening tasks that used to take up so much time for recruiters. It's a huge value proposition.
And check this out. This chart says it all. You can literally see the explosion of interest. Before about 2019, the number of research papers on this topic was just a trickle. And then, boom, it's a flood. This shows you this isn't just some corporate fad. It's a huge area of focus for researchers and the industry.
Okay, but with this incredible promise of efficiency comes a really serious risk. There's a peril here. What happens when the algorithm, the machine, gets it wrong?
And this brings us to a totally different way of looking at the problem, through the lens of the theory of justice. Now, this isn't about what's most efficient or what saves the most money. It's about what's fair, what's equitable. And it forces us to ask a really tough question. Is all this efficiency coming at the cost of basic fairness?
Now, let's be real for a second. Human hiring is already riddled with bias, right? We have gut feelings, unconscious prejudices. Sometimes a recruiter is just having a bad day. The big hope with AI was that it could eliminate all that human messiness. But the problem is, AI can introduce its own set of biases. And these can be even more dangerous because they can repeat historical mistakes and apply them systematically at a massive scale.
And this quote right here, it nails the core of the issue. If you train an AI on a company's past hiring decisions, and those decisions were biased, well, the AI learns that bias. It's garbage in, garbage out. For instance, if a company has mostly hired men for tech roles in the past, the AI might learn to screen out resumes that mention women's chess club. It doesn't know it's being sexist, it's just following the pattern it was taught, baking past discrimination right into the code for the future.
And let's just make this personal. I mean, really think about it. What if an algorithm analyzed a video of you and decided it didn't like your tone of voice? Or what if it scanned your resume and decided that because you like, I don't know, knitting, you're not a good culture fit? This isn't science fiction anymore. This is the kind of stuff we're up against.
So that brings us to the third piece of this puzzle. It's all about you, the applicant, and your fundamental rights in this whole process.
This is where the theory of rights comes in, and the idea here is simple but powerful. People are not just resources to be optimized. You're not just a data point to help a company's bottom line. You are an individual with fundamental human rights that have to be respected, period.
And a huge concern in this area is something called cyber vetting. You know what this is. It's when companies go digging through your social media, your old blog posts, anything they can find online about you. Well, AI can put this on steroids, scanning your entire digital footprint in seconds, often without you ever knowing it's happening.
So what rights are we talking about protecting? Well, researchers have laid out 5 basic human rights for job applicants. The right to non-discrimination, that's a given. The right to privacy over your personal data. The rights to free expression and free association, meaning you shouldn't be penalized for your opinions or who your friends are. And this last one is so important, the right to transparency, to actually know how and why a machine made a decision about your career.
So we have this triangle of tension, right? You've got the company's need for efficiency, the moral demand for fairness, and the basic rights of every applicant. The goal isn't to pick one side over the others. The goal is to find the balance.
And there's actually a framework for how we can do just that.
So here it is. This model puts responsible, ethical decision-making right in the center. It shows that you can't just focus on one of these ideas. You have to integrate all three of them.
So in one corner, you have that utilitarian view we talked about. That's the engine, right? The drive for speed, for cost savings, for making things better and faster. That's what gets companies excited about AI to begin with.
But that engine needs a brake, and that's the justice view. This corner is the system's conscience. It's constantly asking, okay, this is efficient, but is it fair? Is it creating biased outcomes? It keeps pure optimization in check.
And finally, you have the rights view. Think of this corner as the guardrails. These are the hard and fast rules, the lines you just cannot cross when it comes to things like privacy and transparency. These rights are non-negotiable, no matter how much efficiency you think you might gain.
So the big takeaway here is that the only way forward is to find that balance. A system that's just efficient but is totally unfair is doomed to fail. A system that tries to be fair but violates people's basic rights will also fail. Real, lasting progress means finding that sweet spot, that tough, tense equilibrium between all three.
Look, AI in hiring isn't going anywhere. In fact, it's only going to become more common. So the big question for all of us isn't if we should use it. The question is, how do we build it? How do we regulate it? And how do we use it in a way that is efficient, fair, and respectful of our rights to make sure it's a tool that truly works for everyone?